Adam, that gobbledygooker's out. You can feel it in the air.
It's getting a little chilly. It's almost sweater weather.
It's fall time, and that means it's time to get listening for the holidays.
But I got such a big death pile, and you know I hate listening.
Well, you're going to have parties. You're going to have a lot to do. You need to kill that death pile because you need that holiday cash, that Christmas cash to buy those gifts.
If there was only somebody that could help me out to do it faster.
Man, we got a friend. We're going to hook you up. Cellhound, Adam.
What does Cellhound do?
Well, they're going to be your digital virtual assistants. They're going to list all that stuff for you. You send them the pictures, they do your eBay listings.
But how much? It's going to cost me a lot of money, right?
Man, the first 3 are going to be free. After that, it's so cheap that you'll think that Jimmy Cheapy Pants himself's doing it for you.
And what do I got to do to get into that on that?
Man, go over to Cellhound, try the app, do the free listings, and then put in our code, DeathPiles, all capital letters, DeathPiles25. They'll give you 25% off whatever rate you decide to go with.
Man, you got to know somebody over there because that's a good deal.
Man, we might know the CEO.
And, well, I heard that you may get some good words with her, and we really appreciate it because we know that her product is going to help you because Granny always said,
you can't sell goods out of an empty wagon, and Cellhound is going to fill that wagon for you.
Here comes the money. Here comes the money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money.
this is the Death Piles and Taxes podcast, number 101.
I was going to say, you can remember what episode this is, Adam, because we just had the 100th episode. I think it went over pretty well. Here's some good things.
I think only a few people are going to know, hey, thank you for being a friend there, D-Roy.
Hey, I tell you what, your patience is rewarded. That's all I'm going to say.
Brian, thanks for waiting to the end.
If you don't know, then you don't know. But if you do know, you know.
Derek, he's a sneaky little bugger there.
A little reward for having 100 or so good times with us.
That's right. All the way to the end, and you get something special there. So,
Leroy Everitt here with the old cabbage eater himself, Adam Beasley. Adam?
that ice cold water, it's good for you.
Adam's got the water, I got a Diet Dooski. Man, it feels like I haven't seen you in forever.
It's been 2 weeks, man. It's been a long time. We got a lot to catch up on.
A lot happens in a couple weeks.
It does. That's the best part about the world. It just keeps us spinning.
Well, I have it on your desk here in front of me. The audio listener can't see, but there's a potpourri of different items.
Plethora of items.
I guess they're all cards.
Yes, they're cards related. There's a book over here. Some really cool things have happened over the past couple weeks. We've kind of been, again, this is a podcast about sourcing, about reselling online. I am going to hit something special. I've had some requests for it, so we'll hit that at the mid-break.
Okay.
More tax related. That's what we also talk about, is because not every one of you on here is selling online. I don't know why you're not. You should be.
If you're listening to a Death Piles and Taxes show and you're like, I'm just here for the taxes. Enough of this online selling, arbitrage, making money around Christmas, I'm just here for the tax talk.
Hey, apparently there's a lot of people that could learn to make a lot of money and only pay $750 in taxes, so I get why they'd want to listen.
I'm guessing we're not going to get into that because we support things.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of people that would like to understand the tax code better.
Yeah, that's a whole other episode. I think that's its own show for another magical day.
That's the people who want to hear the tax talk, so.
That's the people who need to hear the tax talk.
That's right. Good accountant always pays off, people. God, man, you're gonna get me derailed. No, I've been buying some different things. Used to go to the thrift store a lot, but again with this COVID, it's just kind of been this unknown world. Wearing masks, not wearing masks, wearing gloves. I mean, who really knows what's going to happen? So I started getting a lot into the cards.
I haven't been to the thrift stores yet.
I haven't either.
I'm not sure what the hours are. I don't know if they're open.
I've tried going a few times, but they close at 4 o'clock.
And, you're sorting through things. It's still, I wouldn't say necessarily safe in our neck of the woods. We just got elevated because people aren't I don't know. That's a whole other, we can do a whole topic on topics of shows. I'm just saying, it's a lot safer to buy cards off the internet than trove through people's discarded goods right now.
And it was kind of unsafe before anyways, let's be honest.
Well, the thrift stores never were like clean, but when there wasn't a big worldwide pandemic, you thought, well, maybe I can just go wash my hands afterwards. It had that weird smell, but you know, you took the risk to make some money off things. Right now, it's like, I want to kill grandma.
The worst you can catch is syphilis, so it doesn't really matter anymore.
And once you've got it, you've got it. Am I right?
Those words just don't go away. I've been going into the
Syphilis. We went to syphilis that fast.
I listened to the Hyundai and I just felt, man, it's good times hanging out with the Pelican. That's all I can say. Those were some good times being roommates with that guy.
Sorry.
Okay, so I've been buying some
Was that
cars.
syphilis talk? Was that more syphilis?
No.
Okay.
Best friend day talk. Getting into cards and vintage cards. That's kind of where I've been going. It's all inventory. It's what do you have that other people want, especially going forward in the future. And again, you know, getting into some card talk with Gary Vee. A lot of guys, you know, they're getting into the game, but everybody wants these hot new cards that are just it's crazy what the prices do up and down. It is just it's a volatile market. There's just no way to know. But vintage things, the supply is always down. They're going to go up in value. Yes, not necessarily, 10, so many X in such a short time period. It'll take a little longer, but that's what I'm going down. So
Established. They're established. Right now, if you're buying newer cards, you're buying potential, you're buying what you think the hype is. You're probably buying some sort of limited short supply with the stuff Adam's getting into right now. We all know what has already happened with the girl. What are you doing there?
cutting something up. I got it in the mail.
Oh, he's opening it as we speak.
I don't even know what it is.
But no, I mean, Michael Jordan's career is already established, so you know how that's going to end. And that kind of a thing, or some of his other cards.
Yeah.
That's a little card you got there.
It's a sticker. Look where it came from.
It came from France.
It came from France. Yeah.
Maybe it's from them, what's that, the old Coneheads.
The Coneheads. And you got one of the special. I need to get one of these. These are special knives that, whoa.
Yeah, it's a safe, that's what they call a safety blade. No, well, okay.
They gonna work?
And Adam's got the phone call going, this is riveting 101 action right now.
I want to see what I got here.
Adam's opening up a card as the phone's ringing.
All right, we're back at it. I had a little interruption there with the phone call.
Adam used 4 words that I can't even put on a podcast.
Awful shipping with what this is, but this is a. Go ahead. You're the cultured man. Let me know.
And you heard what I let go on the podcast last week, so 4 things I couldn't go this week. Oh, wow. Well, this is a Japanese soccer player.
Yes.
And it was from the France 98 World Cup. That's about as far as I'm going to get with it.
So apparently this guy, he's 53, and he has played professional soccer in the 80s, 90s, the aughts, the 10s, and now the 20s.
That's right, folks. Adam has gotten into worldwide professional soccer.
You're dang skippy, I am. This is coming from France of 1998.
And what's your motivation behind all this? What we doing?
I am going to let out a big, large secret, and if you want to get in, you're welcome to get in. But apparently, there's this thing. I'm just a dumb American. That's what I am. I mean, I bleed red and blue, and heard what it is.
No white.
Red, white, and blue.
There you go.
But there's this thing called football. Okay, not football, but football.
Sorry.
And apparently it's like the world's largest sport in the entire, not just little old America, but the entire world. And there's this game called the World Cup. It's like this big soccer event that happens every 4 years, and like a gajillion billion people watch it. And apparently it's going to be big here in about another 2 years. So I figured, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through since the 1930 and look at every one of those World Cups, find the best player, and find cards about that one guy.
And then what? You're just gonna have a nice collection.
And I'm going to put them up for some ridiculous price. I'm going to send them in, get them graded, so there's none other like it. And then when the World Cup happens again, I am just going to what do they say? A carve the fat pig.
You're gonna hit that hog.
Hit that hog, because I know that the market for cards is increasing. So it is. It's getting bigger and bigger worldwide. Yes, it's going to probably go down, it's going to go up, but this is one of those, like I said, forever things. It's a forever that this guy is not going to, he's not going to break his leg, and he's not going to do, he's been a great.
He's done.
He was amazing in 1984.
Stick a fork in him.
Pele was amazing in the 1950s.
Unless some scandal comes out, they're done.
And even then, you're going to want to buy his cards.
Unless they go OJ on it.
I've got OJ cards at PSA right now, so when he does die, I will make money off of his death.
Just say most of these people have been established. Adam's getting on that wagon. He's have to think outside the box right now. I got some sourcing stories from the last couple weeks, but Adam's doing his own kind of sourcing, and he's going with the soccer, the World Cup. You know, there's going to be a demand when this comes around, whether it's your thing or not. Adam's finding niches, and that's where he's going with it.
This is the strangest envelope I've ever gotten.
What? Oh, wow.
Exactly. Like the envelope, I think is, well, I know it's more valuable because the card that came in it was bent. This is the card that came in there. It's all bent up.
There's 12 stamps on here.
You're not looking at the back.
Oh, oh my Lord. Wow.
I will post this on our Facebook.
How many 8-cent stamps can you put on a...
Well, look at the years on them.
That is probably, they were probably more valuable, than that card.
I know that they are. I've got this.
I hold things for a while. This card's been for sale since Kennedy was in office or something.
I got an envelope with a card in it, and it has realistically probably 25 like stamps on it, like sticker stamps that range anywhere from 3 cents to 26-cent stamps that, like, they probably date back to the 70s. These are some old stamps.
I counted at 40 on my quick pass.
Yeah, that's a lot of stamps.
And it's bent. Are you going to return the item?
Well, the item was $7.
Well, Diago, I'm not even going to try to pronounce this.
It's got 8-cent stamps from the 1972 Olympics.
I'm going to go ahead and tell this person they've been better if they tried this pirate ship. This is kind of like you. I'm telling you, don't go to the post office. Just print them off at home.
I mean, look at these stamps.
Well, that's going to be, I think you just put that away for Christmas and you got something for your kids right there.
I know that it's going to be pretty big. Look who I found. It's Amelia Earhart. She's on my stamps.
No, you didn't find her. That's a sad joke. Amelia's still MIA.
She's right there 4 times over. So that's what I've been doing. Just finding some real interesting, unique stuff that I didn't think I would ever see in my life, nor did I think I'd go down this rabbit hole. But it's been really fun. Doing some women's soccer also, finding some rookies that are like the old, what do you call it, the Sports Illustrated for kids, because there aren't really, there's no real rookie cards. They just weren't printing them back then. So I was able to find some.
Well, you have definitely scratched a new niche.
So we'll see if it goes anywhere. But like I said, realistically,
2 years watch for Adam. He'll be on the move.
I'm, playing that slow game. It's fun. It's enjoyable. I'm learning something I never knew about. And it's not like it's one of those, niche things. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm listening to the podcast again. Holy cow, you guys are killing it on wrestling cards. But, like, wrestling's such a small market. The World Cup is bigger than the world.
We'll see in 2 years if Adam has sold more in soccer cards than Derek and Mike has sold in wrestling cards.
I don't know. You guys have found your niche. And you got a hold of the big boy, David Peck, on there, too.
Yeah, our new close personal friend, David Peck, who apparently is the king of wrestling cards, which I thought I was for a little bit, but he's now following, I think, both of us on all the socials.
He is. You were dethroned.
Well, I didn't know he was thrown to dethrone.
You gave up the belt.
I don't think so. We'll have to get David on the line.
So you're like, are you? I would say compared, you might be more like the international continental champion.
I might be the intercontinental. He might be the
intercontinental.
That's fair. That's fair.
There's so many belts, you don't know who.
That's true. Well, we might have to try to get Mr. Peck on the show at some point. But Adam, can I tell you, man, I've scoured the state since we've last talked. I think I've been to almost every Walmart that you could imagine exist within the state.
I did go to Wyoming on Sunday.
Did you go to my favorite part of Wyoming?
I drove right past your old favorite stop there, the liquor/fireworks store.
Did you hit the Walmart?
No, didn't go.
Oh, what were you doing in Wyoming?
Just for the ride. Sorry, I didn't want to derail you, but just wanted to let you know. I waited till today to tell you we went to Wyoming.
Well, I could have had you pick me up a few things while you were up that way.
Yeah, it was kind of one of those quick trips. Didn't know that we didn't even tell my family we're going. Just got in the car and
The
drove.
cell phone didn't work?
No.
Okay, well, I was just there, but maybe a couple weeks ago. I don't know if we've talked about that on the podcast yet.
We did. We've talked about it.
Well, I've been looking for certain items from Walmart. I'm getting ready. They're saying with Christmas this year, with everything going on, with the pandemic, with the postal service, with they're upping the rates on USPS, FedEx, and the USPS for shipping. That October they're thinking is going to be when holiday season kind of starts. The peak's going to kind of hit more October-ish, as well as they're doing the Prime Day. Amazon's doing back-to-back Prime Days in October, since they didn't get to do it in the summer because of everything that was going down. So if you're out there looking to resell, you're in the resell world, that's why you're listening to the podcast, not to hear me now talk about soccer and scabies or whatever we talk about.
Taxes.
Scabies, taxes, same difference.
That's right.
Right now is the time to be loading that wagon because as we speak, we're in the month of September, almost the end of
For
September.
another couple days.
So we're talking about next month, holiday season kicking off. People ordering things, they want to make sure they have enough time to get it in, get it to the house, get it shipped across the nation or across the world to other loved ones in time for them to have it for the holidays. So I've had my eye on a few items, and I've been hitting. Yesterday, I had to take the wife's car. This is a whole other story. It's her car that I inherited. I think we talked a little bit about that on the last podcast too, somewhere down the road. But I had to take it up to a shop in downtown Salt Lake City. And so there's a few Walmarts up that way. And I went to the stabby part of Salt Lake City, and I went to the nice part of Salt Lake City. And I'll tell you what, if you're looking into the retail arbitrage world of things, the smaller the town, the better the selection at the Walmarts I found.
Really?
So I was all up there thinking I was going to have, more selection, more things than I could fit in my cart. And when I got there, it was just not that way. Not that it had been picked over.
Just not a lot of.
Not a lot of items on the shelf, especially not the stuff I was looking for. So if you're out there and that's something that you're interested in, you're a retail arbitrage type person around Christmas time, I would tell you to, especially if you're in a bigger city, if you're doing thrift stores, I think big city's the way to go. I think it's the opposite of that. But if you're a retail arbitrage, you're at Target, Walmart, looking for those hard to find items, get in the car, kind of like Adam did last weekend apparently, drive what you think is a long ways, like maybe an hour away.
2 hours, yeah.
An hour, 2 hours away. Make yourself a little map and hit up some stores, and you'll probably be pleasantly surprised by what you find.
And just going to throw in some of those tips, the things that Derek has done well on. And when we say, make $20-$30 on something that, you didn't think you could. Spices, discontinued food items, Lipton's iced tea, that's a super Bolo, holiday type items, just, it's amazing what you see. Anything weird and unique and things that you just wouldn't be, like, I wonder if that's worth money. There's a chance it's worth money.
Here's a hot tip for if you're looking for those holiday Christmas type toys and you're not a big toy person. Go to your Walmart, your Target. Look at the toy section and see an area where things look like there should be stuff on the shelf, but they're not. And it has a little tag there that will tell you what that item is. Do a quick search. See if it's just a hot item or if it's just not been restocked because your Walmart's a bunch of lazy people. Also, don't be afraid if you see something that kind of catches your eye to turn around the back and, scan it, look at the solds. I mean, that's how you find things, right?
And same thing, like I said, anything really like vintage. If you find old Ninja Turtles, if you find old, Marvel comics, like anything like that, there's a good chance that it's probably worth more than what you think.
That's where we're in this weird thing. There's still kind of like yard sales going on.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Christmas. We haven't had Halloween yet. The world's just kind of spinning around and around, and where it stops, nobody knows. But check those solds. If you have a hunch, you're either going to be right on the money or you're going to be well embarrassed. But
and you'll learn from it.
But yeah, just
exactly
do a quick search. Also, I was listening today, and we forget about Terapeak so often, Adam.
I know I heard
so
that
often.
Replay.
They have, you can look at trending things. We can look up probably, I don't know, we're going to have to look at this in the break, But we could probably see what cards are trending now. They have trending items. I mean, there's a lot of data there. You're paying for it. I know I always say this, but I capitalize on the tools that eBay gives us. Everyone kind of is down on eBay, the kind of boo-hoo, eBay, whatever. eBay wants you to be successful because the more successful you are, the more money they make. And I know people don't like to think that. It's not the fun thing. It's easier to hate and be down on them. But let's take advantage of the tools that they give you and, make some money.
And if you don't like eBay, then please go build another platform, and I'll come to you. And instead of charging 3%, you charge me 2%, and we'll all be happy.
Yeah, and plenty of places. There's Bonanza out there. There's True Gather. You can import your stores on some of these places. We got the Macari. We got. I mean, there's several apps and different places to sell your wares. It's just eBay's kind of the bigger dog besides Amazon in the market, and Amazon. Is kind of going through some weird stuff themselves. I mean, as far as the resale world, a lot of people are not sending their stuff into Amazon for the FBA, apparently. They're a little scared because when the whole pandemic went down, everyone was in lockdown, shutdown. Amazon stopped taking in orders, and then they kind of prioritized whose stuff got to sell, or they wouldn't sell anything at all except for the essential type items. So people are afraid to send in their toys or stuff for the holidays in fear of if something breaks out or some states go high numbers or whatever, that Amazon might say, okay, we're not sending out your stuff right now, and it's just going to be stuck in a warehouse till after the holidays. So if you're selling on Amazon, a lot of people are doing the fulfilled by merchant, which is kind of like you send it out yourself. My mom got a birthday present for my nephew off Amazon the other day. She was all disgusted about it because they didn't package it well, kind of like Adam's been talking about with some of these cards. Remember, when you're packaging these things, they're coming to people who want the item as either a gift or something for a personal collection. There's usually value in the presentation, so take a little extra time.
And I guess I had a guy had an issue with the last thing that I packed. My really cool Stein. As soon as he got it, he messaged us saying, "What the? You sent me this headphones and you didn't even do anything. That's the wrong." I'm like, open up the box. It was inside the box.
Yeah.
I thought I sent the wrong item. Again, I secured it up, and that's my fault. I guess I should have put a big sticky on there that says, "Please look in the box."
Open it up. No, I mean I don't think that's the big thing. I know people have complained about getting them in diaper boxes and stuff. I think those diaper boxes are pretty thick cardboard.
They are thick cardboard.
And it's all about reusing what you get there. You don't have to go buy new things because then the cost is going to go up. I mean, nobody wants it in a crusty pizza box with cheese on it. But package it well, package it safely,
Unless
and you're going to get a lot less returns.
Unless it was the Michael Jordan, food poisoning pizza box. Then that's
that's its own item. Or those Ninja Turtles
cheese.
you were talking about earlier, they might go in a pizza box. But
there's a good chance of that.
But I mean, just remember, especially around the holidays, we have people who just buy this time of year.
Yep.
And a lot of new people, they don't know what to expect.
Package it well.
You're either going to make them lifelong converts and keep buying from all of us, or they're going to say online is stupid and a waste of my time.
Yep.
I'd rather get the coronavirus and risk dying because at least I know how it is when I pick it up.
Yeah, like that. I mean, that card's got a total bend in the corner now. Not much I can do with it, but
I'd return it. If I was you, I'd return it.
I paid $6.
I'd get my $6 back.
He sent me $3.
Okay.
I was like, what, great. And I didn't even ask for the $3 because I get it, but I let the guy know, and he's like, hey, sorry, and I wasn't going to go through the send it back because I paid $6 for the card.
But something like that, the condition, put some cardboard around it. It's not that hard to find a little cardboard.
And I'm a little upset because I think it was a $50 card.
Well, there you go. I guess you can sell as is and try to find another one. But
yeah, that's kind of. Somebody requested. So we are the DeathPiles and Taxes podcast. Everything talking about reselling, learning how to get rid of junk, learn how to flip. But the one thing is, every person who is listening to this podcast has to file taxes. Now, the bulk majority of our audience is in the United States, and I do understand we appreciate all of those international people. Big shout out to Russia. Apparently, had a large download there. I don't know.
Yeah.
The only
but no one in Alaska. Don't get me started.
I think that's just the algorithm of our Podbean. But tax talk. I want to get into that because we said we all have to file taxes. This is the one period of time that we're 3/4 of the way through the year. I know 2020's been just crazy, but what you want to do is, this is my biggest pet peeve, okay? I have a pet peeve because people will come into here, they'll bring in their W-2s, they'll bring this thing where we do it electronically, but they're like, what do you mean I owe? I'm like, well, let me show you what you did last year on your W-2. You made $60,000 and you had $5,300 withheld in your check. This year you made $63,000, but you only had $2,700 withheld. You had, $2,300, $2,400 less withheld. Well, I don't know how that happened. And I always say, well, do you think you went exempt on any of your checks? Did you click that box and say you want no taxes withheld? Well, yeah, I only did it once. And I says, well, if you only did it once, then did you not notice that your paychecks were larger every single time? Well, now that you say it, maybe. That's the problem, is a lot of times...
Now that you say it out loud, that starts clicking together.
And it's hard because you always have the spouse in here and you tell them they owe $2,000 and they expect to get back $4,000. It's always one of those things. And no, it doesn't happen with everybody, but it happens more often than you would think. But you are responsible for your paycheck. I understand most people get them direct deposited. Most people don't even look at their paycheck stuff. But I can promise you, if you saw your paycheck and it came direct deposited and it was $100 less than what you thought it was supposed to be, that's when everybody complains. They're like, what the heck happened? But if they get $100 more, they don't seem to question it.
Finally starting to pay me what I'm worth around this place.
That's right. So that's the big thing, is check your withholdings. That you're 3/4 of the way through. You need to know. Take yours, your significant others, whomever, if it's just you, look at your withholding dollar amounts year to date, federal and state. Pull up your tax return from last year, look at it and see how much taxes you actually paid, and see if you're in the right ballpark. Otherwise, you might get that surprise, or you might have had way too much withheld. And you're like, you know what, I don't really care. I'm going to hit that point. I want extra dollars the next couple months. Or other people are like, it's their pseudo savings account and they like to put a lot of money in there. It all depends, but the more educated you are on knowing what your federal withholding is, the better off you're going to be, because then we can get into, which we'll get into next week, those other strategies, those things about putting more money in retirement, because you don't even know that it's missing. So let's try and do some things to increase, just your simple understanding of taxes, because every single person has to file taxes every single year. There's a reason we call this the DeathPiles and Taxes podcast.
Well, why do we call that, Adam?
Because for the rest of your life, and even the year that you die, you have to file your taxes.
Well, I got a guy that does that for me.
That's right, because here at Adam Up Accounting, that's what we do. We take care of taxes. We're very familiar with online retailers. Even if you're listening because you enjoy the sultry sounds of Derek Everitt, we will take care of your taxes. Check us out online, adamupaccounting.com. The social medias, we will help make sure that you file your taxes timely and enjoy the process.
We're back at it, Adam.
I think you did, you hammered down the fact that you are the wrestling card king of volume there on the Terra Peaks.
If you go to Terra Peak and you search wrestling card PSAs and you look at what's sold in the last 90 days, about 1 out of every 3 or more cards came from one guy sitting on the side of the desk.
That's right, like it says, yeah. He's peppered with volume.
Adam, I was going down, I was going to tell you a story. We got talking about how I was all around the state looking for Walmart. So it was actually building up to something, and I forgot.
That doesn't surprise me.
So we were having a celebratory hamburger down in a town called Ridgefield, Utah.
Oh, I've been there.
And we were celebrating because I found a Prince Adam sky sled.
A what?
The Prince Adam sky sled. It was the item I wouldn't talk about a few episodes ago when we had Ben and Jimmy on, because I didn't want people out there swooping my what I was looking for.
Who is Prince Adam's sled?
Well, Sky Sled. Did you ever watch He-Man growing up?
I've seen it once or twice, but I know this is going to be hard to believe to you. But that Skeletor guy really kind of scared me.
Oh, my Lord.
And I didn't want to watch anymore.
Wow. I don't even know where to go from there.
Do you want to do a Halloween episode 2.0?
Yeah. I got some ideas. You have the old Skeletor lunchbox.
I had the the sheets, the bed sheets.
Skeletor scared him.
And it did. It scared me. So
The bed sheets, did you soil them? Because you were so scared?
that's neither going to be on or off the record.
Okay. Well, there was this show when we were growing up called He-Man, Masters of the Universe. It was pretty popular. And it's kind of having a retro comeback, and they have some exclusive toys at the Walmart. And one of the hard-to-find toys is a Prince Adam Sky Sled. Prince Adam was He-Man when he wasn't He-Man. Kind of like, Clark Kent, Superman kind of thing. So I'd scoured all over the state, and I'd looked on all my places to tell me if they have them in stock or not.
Yes.
And there was one thing that told me there was 3 of them up at this Clearfield store, so I went up there a couple times. They didn't have any. Went all over, what they say, we just went all over and searched for this one item in particular. And I'd given up hope of finding one. That's why I was going to go to Colorado, because there's some, in the weird mid-south Colorado Walmarts, and I just kind of gave up and said, well, it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. Anyway, went down to Richfield with my wife. We usually look for sports cards and different items. We hit some Walmarts, make a road trip about it. And lo and behold, if there wasn't a Prince Adam Sky Sled just sitting right there after I'd cleaned out all the cards that they had, it was a beautiful night.
So were you just like giddy with excitement?
Oh man, it was better than Christmas morning. I was so giddy, and as we were at the cash register, because when you have that volume of things, I don't like to do the self-check, unless it's things that you're not supposed to have more than a couple of, then you go to the self-check. The lady scanning all the items said, she was talking about the sports cards, but she said, are you just cleaning us all out of stock? And I said, yeah, I sure am. And she said, good, maybe I can go home. They'll just shut down the store.
What?
The Walmart workers aren't known for being the best in appreciating jobs or what have you.
Yeah.
She was ready to be. Anyways, I thought they'd be upset. Sometimes you think they'd be upset. She was just like, I hope you buy everything and I get to go home. So
was there like, how far did the kid go that was coming at the item? Did you shove him?
oh, he did. He had. That's the thing. It'd been probably on the shelf for more than a few days. And then I was talking with Mike Painter, who I was afraid of telling him I was after this item because he's the one that turned me on to these He-Men. And he said that he passed up a couple by mistake up in another part of the state, and I was just about sickened. And I about went from where I was. If you don't know the geography of the state, and why would you? I was about 2 hours south of where I live. This other location was about, from where I live, an hour the opposite direction through a canyon.
You're 3 hours away from this new location.
At least. This is about 10 at night, and I'm thinking, I'd be back about 3 in the morning. I could get up there. There's 2 of them. I could probably do this. And I talked myself out of it, and luckily so, because he went the next day, and I don't remember if he got one or if they were gone after I showed him my booty, my haul. So we were going to celebrate. We were going to go to the steakhouse down there because there's no one that lives there. And so it's very, you can social distance pretty easily. Well, this night, apparently convention was in town or something, and they had an hour and a half wait. And so I told my wife, I'll owe you a steak, but I'm not going to be sitting here till, 9, 10 o'clock at night when I got 2 hours to drive home, and we're not going to go to the other location and make it a whole, just get back at 5 in the morning. And so we went to McDonald's because, again, Mike Painter claims that this McDonald's in Richfield, Utah is the best McDonald's there is, and their food just tastes like gourmet food.
Did they have I don't even know the guy's name. You told me.
We got the Travis Scott meal.
That's the Travis Scott meal, yeah.
You bet I got the Travis Scott meal. And as we're driving up, the gal's wearing the shirt, right?
Oh, boy.
And so I'm joking with my wife, and she says,
offered her.
my wife says, ask her for her shirt. And I said, what?
The last time you did that, you had to give her beads.
I said, ask her for that shirt. And so I said, that's a cool shirt you got there. She goes, yeah, we just got them in. We have to wear them or whatever. I said, how much? Well, first I said, you got any extras that would be for sale or available? I don't think so. Just this one. I said, how much would you charge me for that shirt? If I wanted that shirt.
You're kidding me.
No, this is all true. This is all true, but it was because my wife told me to, so it was okay.
This is made up.
No, this is all true. And I don't think she caught what I was saying. She said, I wish the shoulders were a little shorter and that was a little tighter fitting, and she's just going off on, how she wished it would fit or whatever. I'm like, yeah, I'd give you like $20 for that shirt. And, here's your food. She didn't really, catch what I was pitching
She
out.
didn't get it.
She didn't get it. She was more obsessed with how it looked on her than
Gotcha.
hearing me say, "Hey, I'll give you 20 for any of those you got extra laying around. It's been cleaning up the mop water or whatever." But it was now to the credit of Mr. Painter, it was a very good seasoned burger.
Okay.
So we sat in the parking lot, had my Travis Scott meal, boogied on home.
So I'm just going to reiterate that. You said, "Hey, Mike, I found this item. Derek, I found some 3 hours away, and you're contemplating."
Well, okay,
Hold on,
here's what happened.
let me recap. So I just want to make sure. You were willing to go to that place to get these two things, but when you found out you have to wait an hour and a half to get a steak for your lovely bride, you said, "I ain't waiting that long. We're going to McDonald's instead."
Well, it was the Mike Painter McDonald's. It's the gourmet McDonald's that we wanted to try out to see if he was right. First off, I'd already said, Mike says that this McDonald's is like the best in the world, and we kind of joked about that.
Holly,
I
great.
also said, "Hey, we can get a McFlurry, but the machine's always broken." It was. I was gonna get her Chips Ahoy McFlurry, and it was broke down. Well, here was the thing. So it's about 9 o'clock at night.
Okay.
By the time you wait the hour and a half, you're at 10:30.
Yeah.
I still got a 2-hour drive home. Full of steak, I'm gonna fall asleep.
Okay.
And I didn't want to kill us. And then somebody that comes upon the crash site, I don't know if it's going to be a highway patrolman or just a good Samaritan, is going to see this Prince Adam Sky sled. Sure, they're going to call him the accident. Sure, they're going to try to help me. But they are going to take that. And then they're going to say, "You can't find these kind of cards anywhere else." They're going to just clean me out. So even if I come to, I'm down a few $100s.
Well, you were
Allegedly.
You were really excited because you were getting in the red zone telling that story.
The red area,
The red.
as I've learned.
Yeah, the red.
Why is that? So I'm watching football. I know a lot of you people out there don't watch football anymore or whatever, and that's your prerogative too. But they're talking about it was always the red zone within the 20 when you're going to score.
I don't know.
Now they're calling it the red area. Did I miss something? Was there a memo? Was there some sort of a rally I missed or something?
Apparently, zone means some sort of, I don't know, derogative term, and they changed it to area. Who the heck knows?
I was just caught off guard. But so, anyways, yeah, I got this. I got these items. I got these cards, and then the good thing about this, if you're in the retail arbitrage at all, that just lights a candle underneath you, right? So I go from, we'll do whatever, do little cards. I don't really want to list things to, man, it is game on. We're almost to Christmas time. I am scouring.
Let's help the listeners just so they can recap and know exactly what you found. This toy, and how much did you pay for said toy?
Well, I think the Sky Sled might have been a little more expensive. I was thinking it was probably $19.99. This might have been more in the $29 range,
Okay,
give or take.
Let's say $30. Okay, obviously it was impossible to find. You scoured the
You
state.
can't find. I scoured multiple states. I looked at Idaho. I looked at Utah. I looked at Nevada. I looked at Arizona. I looked at Colorado. I looked at New Mexico. I found 4 in stock or something like that.
Obviously, at this point, it's not about you're going to make money because you've driven all over the heavens looking for it. Now it's like a great white whale for you to say, "I slew the beast."
Well, see, there's other people that are our age that did watch He-Man that are still into it that collect these things.
That's what I'm going at. How much do you think you could sell this item for?
Well, I'm going to bundle it together with the Battle Cat, which is a little more rare to find, but there's plenty out there that He-Man rides.
Okay.
Then some of the figures, some of the harder to find figures are the Man of Arms and the Beast Man. Now, I found some of these that have been unpunched.
Wow.
So by unpunched, it means it hasn't hung on the rack, the part where it goes through, the cardboard's still intact.
Unpunched.
So I'm going to bundle together, like 4 of these items. I'm going to ask like $350, something like that. I'm going to ask for that and probably take an offer down to maybe $200, somewhere in there.
You are. It is finding your treasure, and of course, while you're doing this, you keep track of your mileage, keep track of your meals, because it's all tax deductible. Buying some cards, you're just enjoying
I'm
it.
going to throw out another one because I love our DeathPile and Taxes listeners, and they've been listening thus far.
Yes.
There's multiple wrestling companies and organizations, which doesn't really matter, but it does for this story. There's a new wrestling company that's called AEW.
All Elite.
All Elite Wrestling.
Yes.
They're not the WWE, so when you're looking for your figures, they're not the same.
Yes.
They just came out with their first run of figures, their Series 1. Now, in that series, just this is gonna make you guys money, so listen, I know a lot of you are glazed over right now. There's a Chris Jericho, there's a Cody Rhodes, there's supposedly a Brandy Rhodes. Now that's where the money is, and I'll tell you why here in a minute. And then there's Kenny Omega, and then there's there's a Nick Jackson and his brother, whose name I can't remember, but they're the Young Bucks. Now the Young Bucks are the two, Nick and Chris Jackson maybe. You buy those two together. They're $20 each. I sold out all mine so fast I couldn't believe it. And I've scoured the state once again with Mr. Painter. He has these listed up, these two figures. He's asking $100 for the pair.
There you go, man.
I was about 60 to 80. The Brandy, if you can find it, they accidentally didn't include her in the packaging that went out to Walmart, so they're trying to play catch up. So she's basically impossible to find. But if you can find her, you can sell her for a few $100s for one figure for $20. And then there's what they call a chase figure, which just means it has different clothing. So there's a Jericho and a Cody Rhodes that has different clothes than the other ones, which you can tell by looking at them. If you can find those, you're in the money. So when you go to your local Walmarts, go and look for the AEW wrestling figures. If you have the Jackson Brothers, get both of those, sell them for $100 or thereabouts. With the Young Bucks is what they're known as, if you need to Google all this. And if you can find the alternate Jericho, or the alternate, I can see Adam's just, you talked soccer earlier. This is when you were talking soccer, how I felt.
But I guess I haven't, got that excited about soccer because I haven't made any money yet. But, obviously, he's in
if you can find these alternate settings here.
He is in the red area on the recording equipment. This guy is giddy.
Well, this is the thing, because you buy these for $20. They're $20, which is a lot for an action figure, you'd reckon?
Yes.
I'd reckon that's a lot. But when you can sell these for
$50
a piece, $40, $50 a piece, if you can find that Brandy and just make, $500 for something you invest 20 in, and there's some out there. That's the thing. There are some out there. So we have people all across the nation. Just a heads up there, when you're at the Walmart, everyone says, "What are you looking for?" I've been pretty, tight-lipped for a couple weeks here. There's you a few items. There's you a few freebies.
He is opening up.
There's you a couple.
It's plethora.
Just because I felt so good when we looked at Terra Peak and I owned that wrestling PSA market.
He was, and if you didn't check us out on the social.
And because my gal told me, my wife told me to ask that gal to take her top off and give her 20.
Wow, I don't know what to say here.
That's a true story, Adam.
Yes, it is a true story. Let's break into a new topic here before we get.
I got another. So I tell you, we've been gone for a while. So I've been going to stores. I'm looking for sports cards because basketball was really hot, but right now football. If you can find the actual
football's been going hot.
If you can find cards, not even that you have to open to look at, but you can just resell the box worth.
Yes.
And I was talking to Phil, and he'll buy boxes from you if you can find them. I've been going to a store that's known for being red. And so the other day I was in there, and this was the first time I'd ever been to this store. And I found some cards. So I got me a few boxes, and I'm pretty happy. I go to the self-check. I probably had 4 or 5 boxes, right? And the lady that's there to assist you at this store, that's the red store, she comes up to me and she says, "You come in here a lot." And this is the first time I've ever been in here. I said, "No, I really don't. This is my first time. I was just coming by, just checking out." "No, you're always in here buying this kind of stuff."
Okay.
And I'm like, exactly. I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, well, you got good product. What do you want me to say?" And she goes, "Well, if you'd sign up for our card, you'd save 5% this," and gives me this whole spiel. I'm like, "Oh, that's good to know. You should sign up right now." I said, "I'm kind of in a hurry." "Well, you come in here all the time, and you're always buying this." And this is, I'm like, I can show you my driver's license. I live, hours away from this point. I don't come in here all the time.
Doppelganger.
Apparently there's some doppelganger, and since you have to wear masks, I'm wearing a mask. Apparently I look the same figure-wise as the other guy that comes and buys cards, which doesn't surprise me. But I'm getting hit up by this old lady about why I don't have a card and save 5% because I'm always coming to clean the house here.
Well, I got good news for you. Our 15, our special, my free grading. I tried something, a new tactic. Will you be with PSA? With a lot of lead time, a lot of turnover time. I sent in last couple submissions ago. I sent in I have 2 separate orders in the same box. One was 15, one was like 25 or something, because I wanted to use my 15 free vouchers for signing up. I forgot to use it. So then I was like, hey, Derek, I haven't sent these. Let's try this again. So we sent out 2 orders in the same box, hoping that we could get them to push through, because normally they're a little quicker on the 15. But I sent it off a month ago, and they have received it. So
Hey, there
it
we
is
go.
in review and ID. Down there at the very bottom, there is the 2020 Leaf Ultimate Wrestling plate 4 Horsemen autographed down there. So that is there. I've got some good what do you call it? Not wrestling, but football cards. I got some football cards there, some signed Taysom Hill, some Tyler Huntley's, Jalen Johnson, Zach Moss, some good-looking cards. Also have some Donovan Mitchell's, Ja Morant. So we'll see what happens.
Hey, we'll see how it goes. I'm glad those finally got there,
So
and that they accepted them. They'll be done before any of the other stuff I've sent in. That's I think it's on the loading dock, and they're just playing tiddlywinks with it.
We're hoping to get it there. So I just wanted to give you that update. I knew I got that email.
Well, I mean, that's some good information, Adam. There we go. So I got a story. Can I get a little derailed? I know I've been derailed pretty much this whole segment, but
You have been derailed, but it's been well worth it. So hit us with the derailment, buddy.
well, I'm known for knowing how to pinch a penny. I got a little Jimmy Cheapy Pants in me. My wife, we needed a new car because we were driving back from Wyoming and we had the red triangle death show up in our car, which if you have a Prius means it's worse than check engine light usually. My car has to get inspected at the first of the year, and the car I'm driving, you need a new Cadillac converter in it. That's going to run about $400. We put a lot of money into that car, and we just don't want to pay to get it renewed again, get fixed. We just figured, it's time to do a little something different. So we went. So with my wife's car having this other problem, the original idea was I take over her older car, but we put more into it, and we get rid of this tan car anyways. And so I'm like, okay, that's the universe telling us it's time. So I got scouring, do my due diligence, do my research, and I find a car that we're interested in. It happens to be up by where Pelican lives. It's that's a good jaunt from us as well. So we go up there and we do the little test drive thing. Well, first I find so I knew a guy that I went through before. I'm texting him. He's kind of halfway in, halfway out of the business. He's a little elderly, has some concerns with COVID, and he refers me to this other guy. Now this other guy says, yeah, I'm picking up a car that you might be interested in down in Vegas at the auction. It'll be back in a couple weeks.
So Derek's got a guy he buys cars.
I do. I got a guy.
That's how Derek rolls.
And so he's like, he's getting up back. He's telling me what he's going to repair, sending me some pictures. And I'm like, cool. So come on up and see it. So we drive up a couple hours to see this car. Now, lo and behold, this car was leased out of Vegas, but the last, 7 or so years of its life, it's been living in Prump, Nevada.
Oh, P-Town.
And it's a fresh out of Prump. And I got Carfax. It shows me all the scheduled things around Prump where it's been maintenance.
There you go, man.
It's been out in the sun a little bit. It's kind of got some weather, but it's a good car. So anyways, we take the test drive. We're kicking the tires, doing all that you do.
Lift the blue hood, look yourself like you know what you're looking at.
Yeah, point out a few things. So I get back, and the guy I've been dealing with, he had a wife and kids he had to go get from something.
Yeah.
He wasn't there, so it's kind of his. He owned the dealership, and these were some people that worked for him. So they're like, "Well, what do you think?" And this is where you have to kind of act like you know what you're talking about. So I'm like, "Well, there's it's been out in the sun. You can see where it's been weathered here, and I'm kind of nickel and diming some things." And
Kind of nickel and diamond.
okay, I'm going in deep detail about this and that.
There's a 1/16 of an inch scratch on the left rear fender.
Yeah, because you got to, right? So I negotiate down. I say, well, here's a price that I want to do out the door price too. I don't want any dock fees. I don't want any, we held it. This is with tax. This is with everything. Here's my number, right?
Yes.
And he's like,
You're
well,
that guy.
yeah, exactly. My brother's the shark. So I'm like, this guy wasn't really haggling though. So he's like, well, that's what you want. And it was like, it was under $1,000 of where we were at. And this car has been from the auction to here. not a whole lot of probably meat on the bone for them anyways.
Yes.
And so I'm like, yeah, that's kind of where we're at. And he's like, well, I'll text over that guy and let you know.
Derek's ripping the Band-Aid off.
And I'm like, okay. And that was that. So we get driving home. We stop to get something to eat. I'm like, man, I might have overplayed my hand a little bit. And I'm kind of mad because we drove a couple hours and we left work. And I'm just like, my wife's like, yeah, you might have went a little too, we might have offended him. You might have went a little too hard there. We're hitting some Walmarts on the way home because I'm trying to find this Prince Adam Sky sled and some other items. And so I'm like, man, he didn't text me back even a no, you know? So about 2.5 hours later, I get this text that says, sorry, we got busy, said they'll do that for you.
Wow.
So I'm like, all right, we'll be back up tomorrow, you know, get the money, everything together.
So of course, like I said, you're just going to go up and get the car and come back.
Oh, I forgot this part.
I know.
I forgot this part.
I'm baiting you.
So when I'm getting ready to check out with the guy making the offer or whatever, I said, hey, I got this car, 'cause, you know, that tan car, buying that tan Prius, I don't really want to do the work to resell it because it's got some stuff that has to be done to it. I'm no mechanic.
It's duct taped together.
It's duct taped together in the front. That's not even a lie.
You've driven the wheels off and it's sitting at $299. It won't go over.
No, that's the other one I'm keeping. I'm keeping the one that won't go over $299. This is the other one. This is in worse shape
Derek's tried 3 of the same car.
because they get 300,000 miles on them.
Right, they never go over it. It sits at that $299.
That's right. You get them trained, and then you buy things that have warranties for like 1,200 miles or whatever. You'll never hit your warranty.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good for life. So I'm telling this guy, I'm like, hey, I got this other car. I might want to trade in. You know, what can you do with that? Put it towards that. And I'm going to tell him about it. And he's like, oh, yeah, I can bring it up. We'll do you a little estimate and see where it's at. And I'm like, okay, you know, because I'm like, well, then I don't have to deal with that car, you know, trying to put some money in it, get up to resale prices. So I'm driving up with my wife, and they just took this offer, and it I had me an epiphany. And I look at her, and I say, you know how I was like, you know, complain about every little detail on that car, trying to get a cheaper price the other day. And she goes, yeah. I said, you know how we thought we might have offended them and didn't hear back for 2 hours before they accepted the price and that. And she's like, yeah. I said, the more I get thinking about it, this car that I'm driving up right now burns a little oil, needs a Cadillac converter, is held together by duct tape in the front end, so on and so forth. I'm not so sure I want to have them evaluate it for a trade-in or have it appraised or whatever because one, they're going to know I was full of crap on everything that I was saying might bug me about this other car that we're getting because I act like those things might bug me. And two, that price of that car might go up quite a bit once they see how haggled I may have been. So, long story short, we pull up and the guy said, oh, I see you brought that tan car. Is that the one you wanted us to kind of look at, give you a price on or whatever? I said, no, I'm just going to try to sell it locally. We're good. We're just going to get this car, get in and out today. But shout out to, I can't remember, if you need a car and you're in Utah, let me know. These guys took good care of me. They were just straight shooters, and that was nice. It was probably the fastest, easiest car buying experience I've ever had.
Wow.
And I got what I wanted.
So Derek, he knows what he's doing. I mean, some people, you know, they
some people have no shame, Adam.
Some people have no shame, and
other people have no car payment. And some of us are both.
And that's what I'm saying. And I was gonna do. That's my next shout out is you essentially. I mean, you paid for that car with what you sold in the last 3 months on eBay.
eBay money.
Like you paid for that car by selling wrestling cards.
So that was bought by wrestling cards and old T-shirts off the internet.
And
maybe a couple shoes.
That's not a lie. I mean, there's enough money out there. If you really want to do it, you can make a couple $100 a week, a couple $1,000 a month, 10,000. I mean, it all depends on how much work. And I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna because we talked about it. Is the retail world is endless. And I know you brought it up, and I don't want to, ruffle too many feathers, but you had brought about the subject of, man, I wish I had a little more time to do this. And I know everybody talks about that. I see it on the internet, people about these questions is, how do you make that jump? How do you make that leap from doing this part-time to full-time? And I know that there's people that listen to the podcast, and I would say, do what makes you happy. And that's the thing, is I know, Derek does, like, what he does, he loves what he does. Like, he drives. Like, he drives, it's pretty straightforward, you know.
I may stop at places and pick up cards while I drive. May not. It's hard to say.
It is hard to say. That's the thing is, if you enjoy it, like I said, honestly, like I said, I have a lot of things going in my life. You know, I've got my accounting firm, I've got another company, whichever little secret little thing that happened today. We had somebody reach out to us. They want to potentially do some work with us, but today was probably the best day forever for wearing a mask.
Okay.
You know, there's so many things that.
Were you out trick-or-treating?
No, we're not. We're not masked. We were there. We're meeting with these gentlemen. We're all wearing socially distanced, wearing masks, having conversations. But it came to that point when you got to lay your cards on the table with each other. We're negotiating.
I was saying with the car negotiation. That was good.
That's the whole you know, what's going on. And he kind of asked first, and I kind of did the other thing, so he couldn't really tell the
poker face.
How ecstatic I was about what they were telling us and the potential. So it was good. You know, we're gonna work some of those details out here in the next couple weeks with them. But yeah, I tell you what, and I think they're in the same situation. Go out and do something new.
Well, and that's the thing you kind of brought up. It's kind of nice. I've been in jobs before where it hasn't been so secure, been laid off, had things happen. I'm in a spot now where I can go to my regular job, but it's nice to know in the background of my mind, like, on days where you're just like, man, this is BS, or what happens if the economy or whatever switches. I got kind of a safety net.
You do.
And a lot of you guys out there might be looking for something like that, or saying, hey man, that's cool, you can buy a car for cash, even if we're not talking like brand new off the lot.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that you can do, which if you told me 10 years ago, I said, no, there's no way. There's no way. I'm working paycheck to paycheck. You know, I have some in-laws looking to buy a house, and it's just crazy where prices and things are going right now with things. So it's nice to know that you have whether you're doing it or thinking about doing it, or you got your other side hustle or things like that, that if you have enough motivation,
want to,
if you want to, there's ways to subsidize yourself, and you don't have to rely on other people, and that's a good spot to be at.
It is a good spot to be at. So, 101 gone great. I'm really surprised that I know we got the reprimandum again. We got the things, there are a couple slips, so they're on 100. I really enjoyed it. Thank you all for listening. Keep listening. Like I said, let us know. We're trying to get some good feedback. We've got some good guests lined up here in the next couple weeks. Go out and do something new. Like I said, try and resell. Get on the internet. You know, the world is such a small place. I'm getting cards from France, Germany, you know, just things that I never thought. We got people listening all over the world. Appreciate it. And D-Roy, there are two things in life that are certain.
That would be death piles and taxes.